2012, and the age of college students is definitely on the rise. Those 30 and older are starting to enter the college education force at an alarming rate. There are many pros as well as cons into entering the college education force when you're over 30, as well as some great information that you need to look into for funding, as well as scholarships when you're starting to enter college, because now you don't have your parents' pockets to depend on. Now let's first start with the pros and cons of returning to college when you're over the age of 30. The biggest one is, according to the Census Bureau in 2008, those that have a bachelor degree make up to $26,000 more than those who don't graduate from college at all. I know for myself that I could definitely use that $26,000 right now. The second big pro is going to be that the second time around, you're going to do a lot better when you enter college. For instance, you're not 18 anymore, and now you're 30, and there's a big age difference as well as maturity difference in those two groups. Although when you're 18, you don't like to think of it that way. So when you're having to pay for college out of your own pocket, you're probably going to do a lot better than having to depend on your parents to pay for you as well. And the third big pro that I came up with is that the adult education population has increased. So you're not going to be alone. According to the collegesurfing.com website, the college education population has increased from 40% in 1995 to 44% in 2005, which tells you that the emergence of college students from the age of 30 plus group, like myself, is pretty large. Now there are some cons to entering college when you're over 30. The biggest con is that there's no downtime. A lot of us have to start off our mornings very early, getting our kids ready for school, getting ourselves ready for work. We go to work all day, come home, cook dinner for our kids, and then turn around, study for school. Who likes to do something like that? So there's no downtime really at all. And the biggest solution to downtime, according to WebMD, is exercise. They say that if you exercise your body physically, then you're going to be able to exercise your brain. And that's going to give you these endorphins that you need in order to produce more energy. So I know that there's no downtime, but if you add a 30-minute exercise regimen to your everyday daily routine, you'll be able to increase routine brain activity as well as to your body some good health that you need. The third big point of a con is that you have to have confidence. I know that when you're over 30 that people just assume that you're okay with yourself and that you're going to be able to make it. But you have to have some type of support system.